Minecraft. It's an integral part of my life despite how dumb that sounds. I grew up on the game and I'll always remember the fond memories of staying up all night trying to work on my exit world or trying to build missiles and vault. Modded Minecraft is a whole different game than the vanilla product most of the time. And with the itch coming back to dive into the blocky world, I thought there was no better way to do it than to give my first real hardcore run a try in a version of Minecraft and a mod pack I knew next to nothing about. So join me as I take on Prominence 2 Hasturian era, and most likely get my ass handed to me somewhere along the road. So like any normal Minecraft world, I basically just wanted to get started and lay a foundation for what I was going to build. I didn't have too much in mind for what I wanted to accomplish early on. I just knew I needed a house to be safe, and I needed to eventually get some form of food so that I would have stuff to eat as time went on. So I spawned on this little rocky beach area here, and I've been basically just going around getting some stone, getting the basic building materials, the necessities. I got some coal, I got copper, I chopped down some logs, and I built the basic foundation for my house. Now I'm going for this little cylindrical thing here. This is just going to be a temporary little building that I'm going to live in until I'm able to better equip myself for what I'm going to be facing. And this mod pack has a lot in it. There are a lot of different monsters and dungeons and bosses for me to fight. And my eventual goal is to get through all of the main bosses in the questline story thing that Prominence has set up at the beginning. Random little interlude while editing this too, but I want to draw attention to the soundscape of this mod pack. I think it's great, all the little like ambient noises that they add. It has a original soundtrack actually that was created for it, and a lot of the music in it is very good, along with the original Minecraft soundtrack just being amazing in its own right. I really spent most of my first couple of hours playing in this world, walking around and just kind of seeing what surrounded me, because I had a little bit of experience with Prominence before this. I have a little survival world I'm just playing around with, so I haven't seen all the biomes and whatnot, and I mean this one that I'm in right now at the Larchwood, this was new to me, so I was just kind of seeing what was going on. I really like these stony beaches that are everywhere. I think that they're cool. I got some copper here, as you can see, and it's starting to get dark, and I really didn't want to be out on the first night, so I pretty much hightailed it right back to base after I got this copper. But, I mean, I got a couple little starting materials, as you saw in the beginning. I got sword, shield, the book with the quests and stuff, which I'll go over later, and the bread. But that bread, it's not going to last forever. I really need to get some sort of farm going here so that I can get a permanent food source up and running. Because in hardcore, you know, you run out of hunger, you're going to die. And I mean, it's just, you need food anyway. So, yeah, a lot of my first day I was just kind of looking around, trying to scope out where I could build and what I would want to expand out to. And now I just have to kind of set up my temporary base at home, get a little bit more kind of comfortable with my surroundings, and then I go out and try to get some more shit. So the first night passed pretty uneventfully. I just kind of added to my house a little bit to give myself some more room up on top, and I got all that copper that I made, and I made some copper gears so that I had some more durable tools to go out and get some more, you know, stuff. Right now, all I kind of want to do is get more building materials and just kind of make myself more comfortable here, like I said, so that's the main goal. Alright, with the first night going by completely without a hitch, I got my roof area a little bit more set up, completely finished now, a little barrier that I'm just adding here in this part, and then I decided to go out and explore a little bit more, because my main goal right now, like I keep saying over and over again, is to get iron, so that I can make a farm, so that I can make food. That's the way that my head's working right now, so I gotta get iron so that I can get a bucket, and with the bucket I can get water up here, to my little area. I could just go down there and build like dirt around in the water, but that's fucking stupid and I don't want to do that. So I just kind of explore around for a bit, try to find some iron. I do eventually come across some in more of the Stony Beach area, and I travel pretty far away from home actually. As I was getting lost in the wilderness, I came across this funky little glowing like moss thing, and when I walked up to it, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty," and then it just set me on fire. Um, so that was terrifying. It didn't really last for too long, so I wasn't too scared. But like at the same time, this is hardcore Minecraft. You don't really want to be set on fire. But I just kind of went around. I recognized like this lava lake here. Um, some of the trees that burnt down there as landmarks. I'm trying to get a better idea of kind of like where everything is. I get over this little hill though, and I see this weird structure like off in the distance, kind of like a hay bale type thing. So I want to go see what that is. So I jumped in the water and I take a little swim and I decide to kill some of these fish here because they'll be a good little source of food. And I realize that my copper sword, the one that I made that, you see how it's purple on the hotbar there? So every tool that you make in this mod pack has like a rarity and you can reforge them to get better rarities if you don't like it. But that copper short sword that I have, it just so happened to be like an epic level when I got it. So it's like swings really fast. So it's been pretty good at keeping me alive to this point. But yeah, I just gather some of those fish as I'm going over here to try to figure out what this straw thing is. And when I get there, there's all these little chests with all sorts of shit in it. It's pretty cool, and it helps me get like potatoes and a few other things to help me start my farm up early, and all that wheat there too. It was just a nice little startup gift per se. And with the second night coming, I felt a little cocky, honestly. I wanted to keep exploring, so I just stayed out and I kept gathering stuff, and I didn't really have any issues. Um, the biggest issue came later when I ran into a mutant creeper on my way back home, but I was able to avoid him luckily, so in the end I was able to gather like 4 iron and see like a couple little interesting things, but nothing too out of the ordinary. While I was running around out in the wilderness, I did come across this little ruined nether portal thing where like a portal opened and then whatever they added in that one version of Minecraft with the netherrack and the portal that's broken and the gold blocks and whatever. But when I found that, I found this interesting little weapon there called like the Hawk Thorn or something cool and a little bit more iron. But it got me a weapon that I could use to realistically deal with a lot of the early game enemies, and it also gave me my first runic tablet, which would be good for the Simply Swords mod and a couple other resources. So that was pretty nice to find as well. When I finally got back to my base, I got a little bit of organization started and I decided to make an apple tree using 2 apples and a sapling to get my farm started. And it was like the easiest little thing that I could make at the moment. And throughout the rest of my time playing for today, I pretty much just set up what I would have for my farm area. I cleared out some trees and I built this big fence from one side of the water to the next to kind of define where my house started and the outside was. Once my fence was complete and I had laid down a couple torches to stop mobs from spawning right next to my house, I laid down the foundations for my farm and I planted some wheat seeds, and I pretty much got everything set up to get myself going in a good direction. My next big thing that I have to do is pretty much just get some gear, whether that means mining or trying to explore some of the pre-generated dungeons or whatever, I'm not sure. But I have a good sword, I have all right armor, I need to get full iron before I take on anything that's like too crazy. So my next step is just going to be basically mining and whatnot, and then moving on towards the bosses. And speaking of bosses, there are 8 total that we have to take care of in Chapter 1. Which the third one is the Ender Dragon, which is Minecraft's typical final boss, unless you count like the Wither or something, I don't know. But it's going to be pretty rough. The first one that I have to get to, it's recommended that I'm level 10, and there's a different leveling system in this mod pack, which I'll go over once I kind of dive into it a little more. Haven't killed a lot this first day, so I haven't even, like, leveled up yet. But pretty much what I'm going to have to do is get to level 10 to fight the Lich King, who is fast, like very moving. I don't really know anything about him, actually. I haven't fought him in any of my playthroughs yet. But I do know that the game recommends that I use either a flying mount or some sort of ranged build. So I am going to have to look at that a little bit more to kind of see what's going on and plan my next steps. But I think that pretty much wraps up everything that I wanted to do today. Next time when I get on here, like I said, I'm gonna get to mining, gonna try to expand my base out a little bit more and secure a little bit more territory that I can keep safe, and just try to get some better gear. Probably try to go to the Nether. I do know a couple little tricks to make mining and stuff a little bit easier. Get some exploring done, try to find a village or something, because that'll be very useful. Mess around with waste stones and whatnot, and I just get everything set up. There's a lot of setup that I need to do. But I got my base here. I haven't died yet, which is surprising, and we are moving in a good direction. So I hope to see you guys next time, and if you have any suggestions for things I can do, because I don't really know all the mechanics of the mod pack, and if you know anything that could help me out, I would fucking appreciate it greatly. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.